Hello, everybody. We are here on a Sunday. The hell's happening? But you know what? We want to do a little best ball action for you. So, Gary, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. Excited to be here. It's nice just to take a little break on a Sunday and do this. And I've never used this platform, which you can tell everybody what we're doing here, but it'll be interesting.
We are doing the Best Ball Mania on UnderdogFantasy.com. If you haven't checked it out, do so because it is simple to use. It's pretty easy, and I am ready to put some real American dollars on the line to get this going. This ain't a mock draft. This is we got some American dollars on the line, so I am ready to win $200,000. How about you, Gary?
I'm very excited for that. It might be a little bit till we find out all about it, but yeah, man, $25 to be in the running for the big money sounds pretty damn good to me.
We are 11 out of 12. We are waiting for one more person, and then the draft order will be generated, and then we will be getting this thing going. So, as somebody who has won a large tournament format, that's you, Gary.
That's me.
That is you. I don't know if you guys have heard. So what do you think going into something like this when you know you've got a large tournament field? How do you separate yourself from everybody else?
Man, I mean, I think it's pretty tough, especially with it being best ball and whatnot. But I do really like the idea that you put out earlier, which is, definitely trying to get a very strong stack. Even if that's, if we really like our quarterback, then getting the wide receiver and tight end. Just to really go all in and for those boom games. Other than that, I mean, it's a little bit different with best ball, but I definitely like taking upside players that I'm not even sure what's going to happen in the first few weeks. Those are going to be kind of solidified with my first few picks. But then after that, taking guys that I know towards the back half of the season should really come on strong. Obviously, I'm in love with Deebo Samuel, but he's kind of the type of person that's going to always fall in drafts. But in a best ball format where he can be my wide receiver 5 or 6, I'm going to be super pumped to have him for the stretch run, that type of thing.
Yeah, for sure. So we landed on 111. So we're going to be getting two picks close together here. So I do recognize one name. He was actually he's in the 102, and Scott Fishbowl in our chat flavorized this at the 101. So I got a familiar face in the midst here drafting. So we'll see how that goes. And yeah, we are up and running here. So shouldn't be any much of a surprise as far as the first few picks. So it's gonna get, you're gonna see that fork in the road probably starting at 106 or 107. So with this also 30-second picks. So it's gonna be coming fast and furious here.
Man, I can barely see the players that are left. So you're just gonna have to tell me, oh, now I can see. Okay, so that was 106, 107.
Yep. Henry just went at 106.
I can tell you that who I would be aiming for right now, and that'd be getting Josh Jacobs.
You like Josh Jacobs there at 111?
Yeah, I love Jacobs this year, and I think he tends to be there around the 11. Obviously, I would love if it was CEH, but he's probably not going to be there, given that it seems like everything's kind of going chalk, and they're just going by ADP here.
It's pretty chalky to start. There's Clyde Edwards-Helaire. That's about where he goes anyway. Miles Sanders at the 109. So 111. We're on deck here.
My question for you is, are you wanting to wait on a wide receiver, or do you just want to go modified 0 RB? How do you want to do this? I'm very open to you. You're the skilled best baller.
I don't know about skilled, but I appreciate the compliment. So, no, I don't mind taking a running back. I don't really mind taking, maybe going tight end on the next pick if given that opportunity. And we are up on there. So I will at the very least cue Josh Jacobs here. And then we got 20 seconds to talk it out a little bit. So,
it's between Adams and Jacobs for me. Adams just has such a high ceiling, but I think that Jacobs with that offense is going to smash this year.
I don't really have a lot of, exposure to Josh Jacobs, so I'm perfectly fine with that. At least,
let's do it.
Yeah, let's pull it up a little Josh Jacobs. So we got the turn here, and then we're back up. We'll see what they do. How you feeling about tight end here?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we got two of the best in the league right now that we could pick between. Given that Drake's gone, I mean, Eckler's the only other running back I'd be considering. If Adams are we on the clock?
We're on the clock. 15.
Oh, we are. Oh, man.
So what do you think, Adams or Kelsey?
Go with Kelsey.
Kelsey, yeah, it's fast and furious, man. But it's fun. It keeps you on your toes. So we are on a Josh Jacobs, Travis Kelsey start here. So let me see if I can pull up. Here is a better view. Here, I'll say that. There we go. There's some of the draft board there, so we can follow along with that a little better.
There we go.
Yeah. So. Excuse me. So yeah, the turn goes Mixon, Tyreek Hill. Jacobs, Kelsey, and then obviously we're going to get in that end of the third round and really get into that sweet spot of wide receivers. Now, as far as the running backs go, there's only a couple that I prefer in that range. I don't know about you, but the only guys have been really comfortable taking there are guys like James Conner or Chris Carson. But talk me into anybody else you'd be comfortable with there at 311.
Definitely want to try and get one running back and then one wide receiver. I've found that I've actually this is a 3 wide receiver league, so I might actually even go back-to-back wide receivers. Yeah. Given that, like a Thielen, Robinson, obviously we both really like Woods, and he's not going to make it back to us, I would expect. Those guys, I like them because they have really nice floors, but they also have really nice ceilings. Allen Robinson, man, I feel like I just have this weird love-hate relationship with them, and just depending on how I feel about their quarterback situation day to day. And like right now, I feel like Trubisky's going to start, and so I don't know how that makes me feel about Allen Robinson. The other thing that I would love to see, which I'm guessing is not going to happen, would be if we could somehow get Mahomes. But I would be open to that. Best ball is one of the few times where I actually really do want to make an effort to get one of the top 2 quarterbacks. After that, it just kind of depends on what's where.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I just don't know how, if Mahomes will last to that. Lamar Jackson just went, so you got to figure quarterback will be on at least the first half of the 1 through 6 here, at least on their minds. Connor just went there at 209. So now you start to see wide receivers. You just saw we're starting to get into a run now, first 5. So yeah, we're 6. Yeah, here we go. This is where this starts, and maybe we see a running backs push down a little bit because we've got Gurley, we've got Carson there, Mahomes is still out there, and I'm gonna start looking at wide receivers now. We've got Thielen, we've got Ridley, AJ Brown, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Terry McLaurin, Odell Beckham, and then you got got Mark Andrews. We got our tight end already though. So so these picks are coming fast and furious. We're in the midst of a wide receiver run. I don't terribly mind Chris Carson there if he's there.
You're a man after my own heart. I love him. I can't believe that James Conner went in the back half of the second. That was pretty ballsy. I mean, it's 100% Mahomes if he's there. That's my view, because we have Kelsey. That's the stack. Like you already got that kind of out of the way, except for probably our second stack that we'll go for later, since it is best ball. And then hope that Carson makes it around the turn for us. If he doesn't, man, somebody that's kind of enticing, just looking at the board out there, is Jonathan Taylor, because it's best ball. But again, despite the fact that I said it's a second half player, I don't know if in my 3rd or 4th pick I want that second half player. So
I hear you.
Let's hope that Mahomes makes it to us right here, and then we can make that decision. Because if we have Mahomes, I feel much more comfortable going with another. Oh, he's there.
He is there. So we got to smash that and at least get Mahomes and Kelsey. I'd say that's a pretty good start to a pretty expensive stack, but at least we've got that in our back pocket here. So what you want to look at wide receivers here? And
just look at them real quick.
Yeah, so there's plenty of options there, like AJ Brown, Terry McLaurin, Robert Woods, Lockett.
Go for the safe floor. We could go with Woods. It's Woods or Carson for me. Like that's the toss up. So
I think, and then you've got upside too, because I'm all about chasing upside. Certainly, I would. It's between Brown or Woods for me. It's upside or floor. So how you feeling?
For my wide receiver 1, I want to go with floor. So I would go with Woods.
Woods it is, and we'll let that marinate. So we got our first 4 start here. We've got Mahomes and Kelsey stacked with Josh Jacobs at running back, Robert Woods at wide receiver as our 1.
Ooh.
I'd say it's a pretty damn good start, honestly.
I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah, so we're probably going to get in the end of the big tier of wide receivers.
Yeah,
I would say we would start to maybe get into the Devontae Parker, the Tyler Boyd, Courtland Sutton potentially. So how do you feel? Are you feeling wide receiver here, or because I feel like running back would pretty much be dried up? I mean, you're looking at Bell and Carson just went now. We don't have to worry about quarterback. If we want to take one at the end, they'll be around. No problem there. Tight end, we don't have to worry about really either until the end if we want to take a second. So it's really running backs and wide receivers. It gives us so much, so many, throws at running backs and wide receivers to just pick guys off.
Pretty sure you know exactly who I would want to go towards the end of the draft, and that would just be a Debo Jimmy stack just to kind of cover us just in case something strange happens, but also have really strong upside with those two. But I mean, it's funny. We talked about a potential a modified 0 RB, and here we are fully in the midst of it, given that we're probably going to go. Well, we'll see who's there. I actually think there'll be more running backs than we think, because in these best ball drafts, I think wide receivers tend to fly off the board.
Yes,
I mean, we could be getting like an Akers or something.
Yeah, which I'm totally on board for as far as upside. You're looking at 3 wide receivers. Those guys tend to go, early and often. So, I mean, we're already right now, Cooper Kupp, McLaurin, Lockett, Metcalf, Sutton heading into the turn, coming into round 5. So
like Sutton normally goes in like the 5th, sometimes even the early 6th lately. So
those receivers are getting pushed up.
Man, if things went okay, there's a world in which we end up actually getting back-to-back running backs. We'll see.
Yeah, because we got a couple here. Fournette going in the 5th. That's people want to take him in the 4th, maybe even the end of the 3rd. If they really don't believe that his reception is going to regress. But I don't terribly hate it. I'm just never in that range to take a running back there.
Yeah, of course. It just always feels strange. It's kind of usually with my drafts and how they'll play out. At this point, I have to take wide receivers because I've just taken 3 running backs or a couple of running backs and a tight end or something. So,
right.
The 2, I will say that 4, maybe 3 running backs that I was really thinking I would love to have as a 2 would potentially be Mostert, Hunt, Akers, or Swift. But you just highlighted, he just went Marquise Brown, dude. I own Marquise Brown, probably one of my most owned players this year.
How you feeling about Keenan Allen? I mean, in the 5th, Keenan Allen, Stephon Diggs, or even Gallup. At least it's
definitely upside. All about Keenan Allen. I think the dude's talked a big game, and he's ready to try and go out and prove himself and try and put himself. Well, he's already put himself in that elite tier, but actually back that up with a new quarterback. So you're going to tell me when we're up. I can't read the words.
Yeah, we're 1 away. So now we're looking at running backs, Ingram, Swift, Mostert, Akers, Singletary, and receivers. We're looking at Diggs, Gallup, AJ Green, Landry, Boyd.
So Allen went.
Yeah, he just went. So how you feeling about Diggs there as far as with Josh Allen? We got 10 seconds.
Okay, just go with Diggs. That's fine. Just go with it, because on the back we'll get another probably running back.
Yeah, and I'm fine with any of those 4 that are Ingram, Swift, Mostert, Akers as far as a second, and then we can kind of just hit some of the 0 RB targets a little bit later too.
To me, it'd be Mostert or Akers. I don't know. something about Ingram. I just feel like Dobbins is just so good. I just always like going with a high octane offense, but I'm obviously biased.
Well, how you feeling? Well, between like Swift and Akers, as far as I think Swift has more pass catching, receiving out of the gate. But I say probably more bell cow.
Rojo. Let's take Rojo.
You want to go with Rojo here?
Yeah.
You want to ride that preseason wave?
Yeah, it's a high octane offense.
Screw it. Why not?
Why not diversify a little bit? I don't even know if I own a single Rojo this season.
I've got him in a couple best balls, and I've gotten him like round 7. He's going up a little bit more now, so I don't mind that. I think what we can do too is I think we can start hitting wide receivers pretty hard here, and there's a couple options we can really we can get that stack with McCole Hardman. I'm gonna at least put him up there. I mean, there's a bunch of guys that we can take. There's Henry Ruggs, there's Marvin Jones, there's Brandon Cooks, Deontay Johnson, Christian Kirk. I really like. So
if he was there when we comes back around, Will Fuller again. I know everybody hates on injuries and whatnot, and I'm I think the word is injury agnostic. I buy into injury dips, and I'm always willing to take it because at some point, usually someone plays a full 16, and all of a sudden it's just like lights out. So
I hear you. Yeah, he actually went at 505. Okay. So we don't have to worry about him, but we got looks like 18 picks to dodge here before we get to pick. So let's do a little housekeeping here. So we started out with Josh Jacobs at 111, came back and took Travis Kelce, weathered all those picks, and was able to get Patrick Mahomes to at least get a little bit of a Chiefs stack. And then Robert Woods for floor, Diggs, who should certainly be targeted more in that Bills offense by Josh Allen. And then Ronald Jones, who's a little bit of a wild card, but he, Bruce Arians is top
on that one.
Yeah. That's I'm fine with it, honestly.
His touchdown upside in that offense could be pretty high. So it's just fun to see what happens.
Yeah, I think, with LaShawn McCoy being there, I think it's pretty safe to say that, the Keyshawn Vaughn, at least for 2020, starting to take a bit of a backslide. You're already seeing it in his ADP. He's just he's cratered.
Yeah, we're not doing Dynasty now, but I spent all night last night thinking about my one Dynasty league and trying to make some trades and stuff. And I have the 11th, 12th, and 14th pick and trying to figure out what the heck I'm going to do and so I ended up trading Brandon Cooks and the 14th pick to move up to the 8th pick in the hopes that I can get Rager, or should some crazy other news come out, I got one of the rookie running backs just to be able to pounce on one of them after the top 5 and then the 2 wide receivers, right? I mean, the 8th pick in rookie drafts is very confusing this year.
Yeah, it's really just your feel on things. And it's funny. All of my rookie drafts were pretty much 1 or 2 weeks after the draft, so I haven't had any for a while. But it's crazy, just all the coach speak, all these things that people do to influence ADP and influence these rookie drafts just on that alone. But so we're back on the 7th, and we've got quarterbacks are starting to go. Dak and Kyler went in the end of the 6th. Now we're seeing a couple tight ends here. We saw Evan Ingram. We saw Ertz a round or 2 before that. Right now we're basically looking at, I would say, smashing 2 wide receivers here.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm going to queue up a bunch of people right now. Deontay Johnson just went. So let me get off of quarterback. Here we go. So Hardman's still there. I think Kirk and Hardman are 2 very nice picks there.
Did Marvin Jones go? Oh, he just went. Okay.
Yeah, Marvin Jones did just go 7-6. So we've got 4 more picks until ours. And I'm looking at some of these builds. This guy who's up has 4 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, and just took his first quarterback. We've got 4 RBs, 2 wide, 5 R. So people are just absolutely loading up on running backs early, and it's getting more gross for me. It's good to see it in a draft, how I've been drafting lately.
You're just bored of it. Can you scroll down? Sorry.
Yeah. For the receivers. Yeah. So here, I'm gonna check off of. Yeah. So you got Ruggs.
Oh,
Slayton.
that's why. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the Hardman thing. I think that, swing for the fences. And then scroll back up real quick. Man.
So Kirk just went, so I'm fine taking Hardman here to complete.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. And then
how are we feeling about Ruggs as far as an upside play?
Yeah, it's not my cup of tea. You saw how, I don't know. I just get so disinterested even on a Wednesday.
There's CeeDee Lamb out there. There's Debo. There's Jameson Crowder. If you like floor, Jalen Reagor. There's guys out here. I mean, we've got Hardman. We've got a nice Chiefs stat going.
Yeah, I was thinking about Reagor actually. It's just, man, rookie wide receivers are so confusing. And if you're going to go with a rookie, do you go with Lamb or do you go with Reagor? But I mean, like at some point, Reagor potentially is going to be their only wide receiver besides Greg Ward because Djax will get injured. And who knows what the heck Alshon's doing. And Goodwin already just sat out. So I didn't even know who their fourth. I mean, it's just rookies, right?
Right now, it's pretty much Reagor, some combination of Jeffrey and Jackson. And then you've got Greg Ward there. You've got Arcega-Whiteside.
Let's go.
So Reagor just went. So there's CeeDee Lamb. I'm fully on board with that. We'll go.
The most unusual team I've ever drafted.
But it's just littered with upside. And if we get that to hit, shit, why not? I mean, yeah, I'm perfectly fine with that. I think CeeDee Lamb's got at least 90, 95 targets headed his way and possibly more if he can assert himself. So right now our build is pretty solid. We can start to maybe hammer some of those running backs now. It's a good range to do it. So you've got guys, let me check off of here. So we're in the Tevin Coleman, Marlon Mack, James White, Matt Breida. I think Jordan Howard just went. Awesome. Gibson, I like Gibson talent wise. I just don't know if I'm good at that price point because he's going to go way earlier just on hype than he should be.
Yeah. We'll have to see. I am growing more on him, but I think it's because I'm convincing myself of my shares that I have. It'll be interesting, like if Alex Smith, I genuinely believe Alex Smith has a significant chance to become the starter. I don't know that it's in his favor to be, but I think he has a significant chance for it to occur. And if that happens, what does that do to the offense as a whole? Does it jumpstart it from Haskins or does it hinder it? And I think if he is getting the starting job, it's probably a positive thing.
Right. Yeah. That's certainly going to, obviously be an upgrade to Terry McLaurin. If he can wrangle that job away, that's going to help everybody in the offense. There's no question about that. That could make potentially, a guy like Gandy Golden viable some weeks. We'll see what happens with that, but it's a great story, and who knows, stranger things have happened. Maybe they turn to Alex Smith and he's the guy if he can,
Gibson just went.
Yeah, that's where he's going now, though.
That makes sense.
That's what I'm saying. It might be a little too rich for my blood, at least there, because there are guys like that I do love at this price point, and these are the guys that I'm scooping up when I'm going either modified 0 RB or just true 0 RB. Now I'm looking. You've got guys like Kerryon Johnson, Zach Moss, Latavius Murray. I'm big on Philip Lindsay because I think he's got a really good chance of at least brushing Gordon aside a little bit. I mean, I really like him. I still like Tariq Cohen. I think the efficiency will just ramp up for him. Tony Pollard, you want guys with avenues to be able to get high leverage work. You want pass catchers. You want guys that have some standalone value, or if obviously in Pollard's case, if Zeke Elliott gets hurt, Tony Pollard's a top 6 guy overall.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely true. Tariq Cohen, man, he's somebody that I never draft, but I'm always eyeing him at this point in drafts. And Zach Moss is the other person that, we're both obviously very into.
So I got 3 guys queued up right now. We're going to very least get one of them. So I've got Lindsey queued up, Murray queued up, and Moss.
I would take Latavius off of there. Latavius to me is a handcuff. I don't see him as anything more than that, even though he does get a smattering of touches.
Okay.
It takes AK to go down, and I think this is going to be AK's season. I think Kamara is going to beast and just go back to being, we have the holy 4 instead of the holy triumvirate that we seem to have had.
So between Lindsey and Moss, where do you go between those two?
Oh, you like Lindsey, so let's go with Lindsey. I mean, we're going to get both of them. I don't think anyone's going to take them.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I think you just – yeah, I just don't really believe in Melvin Gordon that much, at least. I know they paid him a lot of money. I feel like they're going to kind of regret giving him that money. It was a weird landing spot to begin with.
Yeah.
So
debating on potentially trading for him in this dynasty league, and I just was like, it just feels dirty. Like he has upside, but he just doesn't have. I don't know. There's just something about it. He just feels like someone that you're never excited to have. Somebody that you're just like, well, I'll take him, I guess.
Right. So
but there
now,
are truthers out there, man.
Oh, there are. Oh, definitely in our midst. There definitely are. So now we're coming back here, and so Latavius Murray just went up. So. If we want to, Cohen's out there, Kerryon Johnson, Alex Madison. How you feeling about those guys? You like Cohen there?
No, I didn't realize that Moss went. I actually like Breida. I mean, I think it's a 50-50 split. He's going to get the pass catching work. Obviously, I like the Dolphins offense, and you never know what's going to happen between, with those guys. Obviously, maybe a limited touchdown upside, but compared to Cohen, where it's just pass catching, at least Breida will get some. And to be honest, he's the fastest person. He was the fastest ball carrier last year, and I want that with him on my team.
I like it. Yeah. Well, chat's starting to pop off a little bit. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Appreciate you. We're doing Best Ball Mania draft here on UnderdogFantasy.com. Kevin Tompkins here and Gary Haddow from FightingChanceFantasy.com. We are in the throes of Best Ball here on a Sunday afternoon. We are in the middle of the 10th round. They're 32nd draft rounds, so our picks. So they're going fast and furious. So if you're just catching it right now, first we went Jacobs, then Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes. Then we went Robert Woods, Stephon Diggs, Ronald Jones, Mecole Hardman to complete a Chiefs stack, CeeDee Lamb, Phillip Lindsay, Matt Breida. So we're pretty even with running backs and wide receivers. I like the makeup there. We've got an elite tight end. We've got the elite quarterback. So it really gives us a lot of flexibility to pretty much do what we want.
Yeah, definitely. I'm very curious to see what quarterbacks and tight ends are still on the board.
Quarterbacks. Yeah, we've got, that QB1 fringe. So we got Stafford, Breeze, Cam Newton, Aaron Rodgers. And then tight ends, we've still got, Hunter Henry, Jared Cook, TJ Hawkinson, Noah Fant. So there's guys still out there. Yeah. If we wanted to really, if we see a guy slip, I don't mind taking him. Like if we see like a TJ Hawkinson slip or a guy or a Fant or Jared Cook just went. But
how early do you take your boy Dallas? Like, where would you take him if? Let's just pretend we didn't have a tight end.
If we didn't have a tight end, I'd probably wait till like I could not this turn. Could probably get him on the next one, honestly.
Okay.
But he actually slipped to tight end 20 in one of my multi-person one of our big leagues, and I was kind of shocked by that, but I know some people that weren't even in on him were like, wow, what the hell is he doing there? So he has a big range of ADPs. He can go as early as like tight end 12, but I haven't seen him go that late. It was kind of wild, honestly. So now we're getting into Tariq Cohen just went 11, which I think is a bargain, at least at that price, and the 11th. Duke Johnson as well. So As far as we've got balance at running back, wide receiver, we can still hammer either position. I'm looking at guys right now. Look at wide receiver. We've got N'Keal Harry. We've got Preston Williams, Justin Jefferson, Laviska Shenault, Paris Campbell. I mean, Williams and Harry stand out for me, at least those two there.
Yeah. Scroll down real quick.
Robbie Anderson.
Strange. The person that I'm always really interested in almost all my drafts now is Bryan Edwards. I think it's too early for it, but I just think the dude is about to be the wide receiver one for the Raiders. It's just a matter of rookie wide receivers are just usually so bad.
We can get a little bit more of the Chiefs if you want. There's DeAndre Washington still there. Mr. Tree Trunks himself, AJ Dillon, still out there.
I would love DeAndre Washington, but I don't want you to miss out on Darrington Evans since he is your man crush.
I do like Darrington Evans. I've got a lot of exposure on. We're up right now, so
I would go with DeAndre Washington. I actually think that he has a lot of upside relative to other running backs, and then we would just not touch another running back for the rest of the draft. There's still 7 more rounds, so I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're really gonna hammer home the Chiefs here. Now I'm looking, and really, I mean that's the spot he should be going. His ADP hasn't really reflected his role right now. Now N'Keal Harry just went, so I don't know about you, but I'm perfectly fine grabbing Preston Williams here. Yeah,
let's do it.
That's a good value. I was hoping at least get one of the two.
Stack for the Dolphins.
Hell yeah. And we can grab, if we really wanted to, we could grab a Fitzpatrick and just do whatever the hell we want to do.
For sure. It's so interesting doing best balls and just, I don't know, doing one QB leagues. I think that's really what it is somehow I have convinced myself to become this Mahomes not truther, but even in one QB leagues. But then all of a sudden I'm in round 12 and I'm like, wait, who's available? Like, damn it, why did I take a quarterback earlier? Then I have to remind myself it's Patrick freaking Mahomes, and he's well worth it.
Yeah, I mean, he's absolutely worth it. I mean, so looking now, quarterbacks are starting to go a little bit here. So, the Cam Newton and N'Keal Harry at the turn, that could be pretty profitable, honestly. Yeah. And you're talking about you got that in the 11, 12 turn.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Now tight ends are starting to go too. Jonnu Smith just went. Now there goes Alex Madison. So, again, we can do whatever we want to do, really, because we've got flexibility. I'm going to look and see just, you've got your quarterbacks there. You still got Baker Mayfield, Jared Goff, Joe Burrow. You've got a lot of guys there. Tight end, you still got Hawkins and Fant. So there's still a bunch of targets there if you wanted to just, do that. Or we've got running backs still, AJ Dillon's out there. I believe, Josh Kelly's still out there too. Yep.
Did Mike Gesicki go?
Mike Gesicki is.
It's so hard to know where they are in the rankings. So probably yes.
I feel like he did. Let me go. I'm gonna check the.
No, yeah, he would have been. It's always interesting. Blake Jarwin is somebody that has so much hype, but I always just see him so late. I think I got him in. That probably sounds about right. I think the draft I'm doing right now, I think I got him in round 14.
Yeah, people just I don't know if they're just afraid to pull the trigger on him or what, but I don't mind him at least getting a shot in that Dallas offense that is going to throw over 600 times. I mean, why wouldn't you? He's going to be probably at best the fourth option in that offense in the passing game, but I mean, there's targets to go around when you look at what Witten did, what Cobb did last year.
My view on tight end, I mean, we're pretty late, but for a tight end too, is solely just touchdowns. I don't care about yardage or anything because Kelsey will almost always have the yardage. It's a matter of we need somebody that's going to just put up a bunch of touchdowns. And so like a Blake Jarwin, if he's there, has that upside. I don't know if we want to go here now. We probably want to go with more wide receivers since I think we only have 4. But
5.
Obviously the other person, and I genuinely mean it, and say it till the cows come home. Jimmy G, and we might be able to get him on the next turn.
Yeah.
But I just think that he just has so much upside. Ooh, Herb Smith could be also like someone later to get.
Jarwin just went. Goddard just went hot. So we're in the throes of a tight end
People hate
run
Hooper
here.
this year. It's crazy.
Everybody hates Austin Hooper.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he's going to be a world beater by any means, but I mean, I'd take him in the 13th round as my second tight end. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
I'm on board with Chris Herndon too.
Yep, definitely.
So if you want to pull the trigger on a tight end, I'll queue them both up and we can just decide whether if you want to go or we can stay with, like I said, there's running, but Dylan just went. There's Josh Kelly out there. Darrington Evans still out there as well.
Wide receivers. We have 5 running backs. I think we have 5.
Yeah, we have 5 and 5.
Yeah, I'm now. I just want to get some high upside wide receivers.
Laviska Shenault.
Such a homer. I love Jalen Hurd.
I like the profile. I'm just not super. Yeah. So Joe Burrow just went. Adrian Peterson's a name where he's going to get carries.
Yeah. Man, there's a lot of lackluster. John Ross is obviously the biggest boom. Maybe Shenault just because he's such a wild card.
Do you go Shenault here? Dial her up?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see.
Oh man, look at this. Laviska Shenault and Ronald Jones. Oh my. The internet will love us today. We are in the internet's good graces.
Far back. Rojo was my random desire to have more of a piece of that.
Yeah, I hear you.
I feel like I get swayed very easily by the tide of Twitter.
Baker Mayfield just went. So if you want to roll with Jimmy G,
yes, let's do it.
We got to do it. Why not?
Because that means we could try and get McKinnon and or Hurd later, or even where are we at? Trent Taylor. I'm telling you, like everything coming out of camp is that McKinnon has just been beasting and is going to be a huge boon for the wide receiving, for the receiving core and for the offense. So, yeah, let's see what happens there.
Yeah, I'm on board with that, certainly. So I'm going to start queuing these guys up. Did Kelly just go? Did Josh Kelly go? Did I miss that? Not sure if he did.
I don't think he did.
Yeah, no, he's there. Okay.
Yeah,
he's probably going to go in this range anyway, but I'm going to queue up a few people here. So I'll queue him up. I'll queue up McKinnon.
I think I might have talked about this on the pod on Wednesday. Maybe not. I've found myself late in drafts, especially if I'm right around a turn. I sometimes would just go Justin Jackson and John Kelly and just see why does that name sound Joshua Kelly? I was like, John Kelly, that's not right. And go Josh Kelly because at least like if I take both of them, I can have a good idea by like week 4 if one of them is going to be more involved than we expected, and then I can probably cut the other one because they're just a pure like third string handcuff. But we don't know if Eckler is going to be Eckler. I mean, I believe he will, and he's going to be awesome. But regardless, they're not going to just give him, 70, 80% of the touches. Like, he's not that guy, despite what the picture of – you see that picture of him? Dude, that dude is so jacked.
Did you see the picture of A.J. Dillon?
Yes.
My God. I mean, Pepper needs new shorts. Good Lord.
I love that he went out, that LaFleur went out and got himself like another poor man's Derrick Henry. Just like, really?
He's so thick. So McKinnon actually went before a Garoppolo pick. Yeah. I love it.
Oh, McKinnon went before? Damn, it sucks. But well. I can tell you someone else that I'm also now getting higher on, and this just could be like camp reports, but I don't care. Dude, Bryce Love legit has the chip. God damn it.
We're in a sharp room, man.
I can't see. And
Brian Edwards just went.
This round is killing my soul.
We're our buddy here flavorized this. He heard us in the chat.
Is he on the turn? Oh, okay.
He's on the he's on the.
I like his Russell Gage pick.
Turn.
I like that a lot.
I like it too because it's cheap targets. I mean, you know, I'd say it's the cheapest 70 targets outside of like Larry Fitzgerald that you can find in those rounds. So yeah, so you see a lot of back end wide receivers starting to go. Kelly is still out there. I'm looking at guys right now. I'd say we're pretty set on quarterback. Don't have to touch that. End. Tight end is still.
I was going to say who's there because obviously we love Jack Doyle.
Irv Smith is out there. Jay Sternberger.
The other would be the Greg Olsen, Will Dissly, taking one of those guys because I think that they'll be the third pass catching option. Whoever the tight end is, it's just a matter of will it be Dissly or will it be Olsen?
I hear you. Yeah, so separate. What do you think of between Doyle and Irv Smith? I like just because I know Doyle is going to be on the field. I know Rivers loves his tight ends, and as I say that, I'm betting he's going to go in the next 3 picks.
I actually think in a best ball league for our tight end too, because we already have Kelsey. I want the touchdowns, and that's not Doyle. I want Irv Smith because he's the guy that could just beast out. And you know, we've seen Kyle Rudolph have really high touchdown ceilings, and he could just fulfill it. Like, who's the second pass catcher in Minnesota right now? It's either Dalvin Cook or no one knows. Like, we think it's Justin Jefferson, but he's a rookie. He's gonna have to learn and all that stuff.
Yeah, but it could be Irv Smith. I mean,
could be Irv Smith.
Absolutely could. I mean, you could see that year 2. You know, it does take tight ends longer to assert themselves. Something fair, certainly to that, but at least as a backup to Kelsey, and could possibly, you know, get that year 2 bump in that offense. So we got Irv Smith here, and I do like that there.
We're about to be back up.
Doyle just went, so we'll be back up. Josh Kelly's still out there.
So you prefer Kelly over Jackson?
I do. I just like he's more physical. I think Kelly's going to have some touchdown equity there that Eckler wouldn't be able to touch on the ground. I like him more than Jackson in that respect.
Yeah. Is Chase Edmonds still available?
He is not.
Yeah, let's go with Kelly then.
Go with Kelly, and who knows? We might be able to get Jackson on the way back too. So we got 2 picks left after this. But I'm down with Josh Kelly. I think he fell a couple rounds. I think it's a good value there. Certainly. I mean, you saw guys like, you know, Anthony McFarland and who else went in that, or Devontae Freeman, who doesn't have a team right now. So I'm totally on board with that pick there. Certainly. So we got 2 rounds left to go. Good on quarterback, good on tight end, I'd say. Unless there's just a screaming value out there that you see. Yeah.
It's so hard to say from this vantage point. Denzel Mims is someone that I'm so interested in, but when you already have a hamstring injury right now, it's always concerning. It's the whole, it's just the larger apprehension about rookies going into this season, on top of that being a Gase offense and just being probably not a great offense other than outside of Crowder and Bell.
Right. Yeah. It's tough to really assert yourself there. Certainly there goes Jackson. So right now, I mean, we're in a skanky area of the draft these last 2 rounds. I mean, we're looking at like Cole Beasley. Let me look through receivers. There ain't much there. You still got Gandy Golden. You've got Arcega-Whiteside, who, I don't terribly mind there. It's like a flyer. Miles Boykin just went.
Chase Claypool is kind of interesting.
Carlos Hyde's rather interesting, honestly. If Carson's not fully back with his hip issues and everybody else, I mean, they're not going to throw DJ Dallas out there. They'll probably be more of a. I don't mind Carlos.
I would rather Hyde. DJ Dallas than Carlos Hyde, actually. He just got some good praise, from Pete Carroll saying that, he could definitely become their pass catching back. He showed pretty well.
What about Lynn Bowden?
Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to see, especially if they run Like you can see Bowden doing like a Wildcat to Henry Ruggs type thing since they're already talking about him getting some QB snaps. So let's do it. I mean, when you throw a touchdown as a running back, you still get those points.
That you do. Absolutely.
And we have Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, and we got to set ourselves up with a couple more options there. So, Raquel Armstead, I don't mind if something happens to Fournette, or if he gets cut.
Yeah,
I would say he'd probably then be the next guy up there, him or Ozigbo, but I'd say probably more Armstead, at least in the interim. You got T. Higgins is out there, Cole Beasley's out there, like I said, Gandy Golden's out there. So there's guys out there. We might actually have a little bit of a decision with our last two picks here.
Yeah, I'm just trying to like go through depth charts in my head. I'm just thinking, Benjamin's also someone just at this late. I'm usually just trying to find people that are on high octane offenses, and right. I just happen to look up and there's not to say a high octane offense, but there's a Cole Beasley who's good for, a couple 2 touchdown games and stuff randomly. But I also just like my random PPR guys at the back of deep drafts, like Cobb and Beasley in particular. But I don't know if that's a bad thing. We could shoot for the fences and take Antonio Brown. I don't know if he's going to play this year. So I don't know if I really want to do it, but it's best ball.
So we got 10 seconds. So we got Beasley, Bowden
for sure.
Bowden.
We both agree on Bowden, so let's go with there.
And we'll get one of the two at least of Beasley or Armstead, or if we want to just say screw it and go Antonio Brown.
Oh man,
Eifert and Ossie go. There's your tight end. There Armstead it is, right there.
Nothing for me. Oh, there's Tyler Eifert. Damn.
So we got a final pick here.
I'm going to let you pick. Armstead does nothing for me, but I think in this league, Beasley probably does nothing either.
I'm going to...
Philip Dorsett will probably have some deep touchdowns from Wilson.
I'm going to go
Taylor, if you want to stack it.
I'm going to go with Armstead here. I think, I just want to see if he can get some equity there. If something happens to Fournette, if whatever happens. So that's the squad right there, and we'll go through one more time here. Josh Jacobs, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, Robert Woods, Stephon Diggs, Ronald Jones, Mecole Hardman, Lamb, Lindsey, Matt Breida, DeAndre Washington. So we got a 4 stack of Chiefs there. But as far as the high upside pick, obviously getting if you're on like the turn or close to it, a Kelsey Hill, that's very expensive. And then you have to worry about Mahomes coming back to you. Now, obviously we took Jacobs, at least got a half of that, but I'm glad we were able to get Hardman too. Because if he can, look what he did with 30 catches. So, good Lord, if he can up that considerably in that offense. And Sammy Watkins, I think today, pulled up a little lame with a hamstring. So, I think hot breaking news here. I'm not going to pull up the video, but no. So, who knows what's going to happen? But is it time to, NFL teams are still just married to Sammy Watkins is going to be a thing. I just don't know, but hopefully Mecole Hardman, I know they've been talking about wanting to pull him off a special team so he can just be a receiver. And that might be, something to look into as far as if they're really going to do that. Because if that's the case, then it's look out, for Mecole Hardman. Certainly he's going to see his ADP shoot up considerably.
Man, it's funny. I'm just scrolling through Roto World right now just to look and see about the Sammy Watkins thing, and there's a lot of relevant stuff today. But Herndon's a starter. Your boy Darrington Evans fumbles twice. That's not good.
He's the new parking lot attendant in Titans training camp now.
I love Jamison Crowder is clearly the best wide receiver because I think everybody would know that, but whatever. And then Kubiak coming out. Justin Jefferson is exactly what we drafted. Whew. that'll be interesting to see. It might be somebody I'm targeting in this random, like you said, most rookie draft should be over by now, but somehow I still have one deep at the end of August.
That's late, but I don't know if that's because this is really my first rookie draft season as far as dynasty. So I don't know if that's. I would assume right after the draft when everybody's just itching to do it. That's the most normal when to have those. But but I'm just looking through. Obviously Mahomes and Garoppolo. It's a good. Garoppolo's a nice floor there. Too, if something were to happen. You got your Jacobs, Ronald Jones, Philip Lindsay, Matt Breida, Josh Kelly, Washington, Lynn Bowden, Armstead. So there's avenues for all of those players to be able to to get in some work, and we didn't spend a lot to get them. That's the key. And then you're looking at guys, Robert Woods with a nice safe floor, Diggs, who I think a lot of that is overblown with about Buffalo's offense. I think with Brown and Beasley now into their probably more optimal roles that you're going to see Diggs certainly get over the 94 targets that he had last year in Minnesota. So I like him as the 2. Obviously, Hardman with the stack, Lamb, Preston Williams, who we should see hopefully a full season out of him. Gets him to the promised land. Laviska Shenault's a wild card, but they want to use him and be creative with him.
Yeah.
And then Travis Kelce, Irv Smith. I mean,
solid.
It's solid, and that stack will certainly help us. And you know what? We'll see what happens. Anything can happen. Just such a big tournament format. But
if we did this 99 more times, there's no chance I would have probably half these players. But I'm the one who selected a good chunk of them. So, hey, it's fun to do. We'll see what happens. Did not practice due to a slight groin injury. Thanks, Dave.
Groin. Okay. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that. Yeah. So we'll see what happens, because those are the things that can linger. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, if Hardman's targets go up more than an average of 2 per week, and he can get up to like the 5, 6, whatever it is. Oh my gosh, man. It'd be crazy. If he's getting up there like 70 up to 100 targets, dude would beast out.
Absolutely. So that's the squad. Anything else, Gary?
No, I appreciate it. It's fun to do this on a Sunday. I think I need to go grocery shopping for the second time today because I forgot to get stuff. Yeah, I went and I forgot to get protein and I forgot to take stuff out of the freezer. So,
oh man, bulk up, get those chia seeds, man. But that's the only thing I know. Shit, I'm clearly not bulking up at this point in time. But this is fun. We'll have to do this again because I really like. Maybe we can start to make it more of a thing as we get into the season, because I'm totally down to do a bunch of these drafts and just see what happens, especially in these large tournament formats. Definitely. Anything can happen. So tune back in with us next this coming Wednesday. We'll have Nate Hamilton dominate himself, go through some player v player at their ADPs and dig into that. I'm excited for that, Gary.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome. I feel like it's gonna be highly contentious when it's one-on-one, player v player. Like those are the ones where it's like, no, how could you ever take that person over?
Oh, and Gary just vamoosed on us. I see how it is, but we'll wrap her up anyway. So again, thanks for tuning in, everybody, and we will be back on Wednesday. Have a great night.